What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? My name is Sean K of Helidirect. I'm going to build this RS4 with you. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments below or ask or reach out and I will be able to hopefully help you. Either I will or Patrick from Helidirect will be able to help you as well. All right, here we go. Step one. Well, I'm gonna start out with the thrust bearing. You wanna get your feathering spindle, your head shaft that goes in between the head, and you wanna drop one down, right? If it's loose and it moves around like this, that's bigger inner diameter, which means this one should be towards the yoke of the head of the actual head yoke. Then you wanna take this part here, that goes in between, and if this one is loose, this one most likely will be a little tight. And the reason why that's tight is because it has a smaller inner diameter hole, which is the way it's supposed to set. So before you install it, make sure you realize and figure out which one is which. You don't want to get these mixed up. A lot of guys get this mixed up on their first build. They have shakes or the thing flies really crazy. I've done it before. We've all done it. You want to get some nice silicone grease, 100%. You want to put that grease on there, man. Just get it on there, get it all around the surface. Try not to get any into threads here. Usually you want to put like some toilet paper or something thin, or just a paper towel, something that doesn't allow it to get in those threads. But also know that any screw that I put in the chopper or screw down to anything, it has been cleaned. I clean everything with alcohol. As you can see here, I put all the screws in here, clean them off, and then get them ready to be assembled with the kit. So make sure you clean your screws. This is Loctite here, it's red Loctite. You might want to use blue. I use red on everything. It's a preference thing. But if you're using red, I must tell you, be very, very cautious because too much can cause problems down the road if you happen to put it in. So, all right, so here's the first part. Now, if you have installed everything the correct way, the movement of your head should be pretty smooth. You can torque that down, boom, smooth as glass. And there you have the RS4 head completed. All right, here we are on step number 2. We are now putting the radius arms on the head. Here we go. Clean your screws so your Loctite adheres to the metals you are screwing them into. Make sure the goose guy is facing away when you do the first one on here. You gotta put that washer on there. It's very important so that thing can move freely once you get it locked down. All right, it should move freely just like that. I will say the hardware that comes in this kit is very nice. It's like a black satin finish on it. Looks high grade. So perfect. We've got the radius arms. We've got the washout arms installed on the head block. On to the next part of step 2. Typically when I do a swash plate, you always want to check these screws just to make sure they're nice and snug. If they're in there nice and snug, you don't want to overdo it. If you got some Loctite on those screws, they seem like they're in there pretty snug and they're not loose, then it should be okay. Always check. The best way to make sure is to take it out, clean it, and put it back in with some Loctite. Install the balls on the swash plate. So when the Loctite gets on it, you are good to go. Oop, drop my balls off the mat there. All right, come on balls, get back on here. Always keep your balls in plain view so you can see those. You don't want to lose your balls because you gotta look all in the carpet for your balls, and trying to find your balls in carpet like that, like Berber carpet, it pretty much goes to another space-time continuum. I don't even know if that makes sense, but you'll never find them again. So keep your balls in plain sight. We've got step 2 complete. We've got our head, radius arms, washout arms, and swash balls installed on the swash plate. There we go. All right, here we are back with step number 3. In the instructions, it says it's gonna be a bearing here, a collar, and then another bearing. Those are already pre-installed, so I've already checked those. One way to do that is if you have something coming from the factory and you're not sure if it's in there good enough, just stick your Allen wrench, just the tip of it, on the edge of the bearing. Don't hit the inside or the middle of the bearing because you can damage it. Put it right on that edge and give it a little push. If it doesn't slip out, then they green Loctite in there and you're good to go. All right, so here we go. You make sure you want to pick the side of the bearing block here that allows these screws to go flush inside this bearing brace. You want to make sure you do that. The other way will not work. All right, looks like we got step number 3 done. What's up? We are back on step 4. Now we are going to drop these servos inside the servo mount. We've got the belt pulley and the servo mount brace bearing block holder guts to the whole thing here. So, all right, on to the next step. All right, here we are, step number 5. Let me point this out to you. This part right here, it comes with the screws already in it. I took those out. You wanna clean those, they're right here. You wanna clean those with alcohol and get those nice and ready to put some Loctite on. And you wanna cross tighten these like in a spider star formation. So those come with the screws in them, but they are not Loctited. So you wanna make sure you get a little Loctite on those threads and get that going. Now we're going to drop this brace on here. Make sure those holes line up. A little Loctite. Boom, there you go. Step 5 in the bag. We are on to step number 6. All right, so we've got step 6 done. We've got belt pulley installed with the main shaft and the one-way sleeve in here. All nice and tight, no play. Looking good. All right, here we are. We are ready for step 7. We are starting to build up the frames and we are accumulating some parts here. It's starting to look like a chopper a little bit, you know. All right, here we are with step 7. We've got our battery latch here, battery shock absorber, and our canopy. So here we are, on to the next one. Booyah! All right, here we are with step 8. We are building the other side of the frame. All right, here we go. Step 8 is done. We've got this side, which is step 7, and then we got this side, which is step 8. We've got the canopy standoffs on both sides, matching up with the battery shock absorber and battery rail going in correctly. All right, cool. On to the next step. All right, we are on to step 9. 9, yes, 9. All right, we are putting these frames together. First, let's start with this first. We wanna make sure we get this wash on here and we don't forget. All right, we've got step 9 done. We are on to step 10. We are putting the boom clamps in the back of the frames. So the first thing is you want to guide this belt through both of them. You don't want to have to mess around with that after you've put these in. We are done with step 10. We've got our boom clamps in. Now remember, you want the opening part here on the bottom left of both. And you want the receptacle here on this side, you want it to be hitting this hole right here so you can get to that if you want. But I suppose that you can pin the boom once it's all set up. Here we go, 10 down in the books. Step 11, we are installing a plate, a flight controller plate. Make sure you assemble these with the flat side here and the countersinks on top. All right, step 11 is done. We've got the flight controller tray installed inside the frames. Man, this thing is coming together pretty quick. It's looking good. Hey. Alrighty, we are on to step 12. We're gonna be putting the landing gear on and putting this frame brace in. Here we go. We have the front brace frame brace. We have the landing gear on, and it's sitting on skids. That's always a good feeling. Yeah. Here we are on step 13, and we are about to install the receiver mount plate and, tail rotor servo mount. All right, we are done with step 13. We have our rear tail servo bracket installed, and we have our receiver mount plate installed as well. All right, here we go. Starting to look like a chopper. We are on to step 14. Okay, we're gonna be installing the boom, putting on a rudder servo, and I think that's it. So let's start with the servo. It's gonna be going, the instructions say to have the ball at 9.5 millimeters from the center. This was the only servo horn I could find that pretty much matched up to that. Doesn't seem like it's enough throw, but if they know it's supposed to be 9.5, then we're gonna make it 9.5 and we'll make it work. All right, here we go. Also too, I believe I saw that there is a change in the manual. The servo needs to, it shows in the manual it's going in from this direction, and I believe it's supposed to be going in from this direction. And it shows the screws and washers coming from this side, but I think it's supposed to be coming from this side. So we're gonna run it like this, and if it's wrong, I'll fix it later and let you know in the comments. Yeah, I'll let you know. So I think it's this way. We're gonna go ahead and do it this way because when you look down the boom, it does look aligned with the ball here. So looks like that should be the correct way. If not, then we'll fix it later. But we'll go with our gut right now and do it this way. All right, we are done with step 14. We've got the boom in. We've got the tail rotor servo in with the mount. I think we're ready to go into the next step. Booyah! We are on to step 15. We're gonna be making our pitch links, and we are going to be sliding a screw into the boom slot or something. Yeah, so, all right, here we go. Okay, quick note, it says in the instructions that this side of the link should be clockwise and this counterclockwise. Well, I found it's actually switched. So it's counterclockwise this side and clockwise this side. So just keep that in mind. Don't try to force it. Yours might be different in your package, but don't force it. Just take your time and try to thread it on. If it doesn't go, try the other way. And if it catches on 2.5, 3 turns, then you know that's the right way. All right, we have step 15 done. We have our pitch links here, and we also have our screw in the boom slot to make sure it doesn't turn left and right. All right. On to the next step. All right, we are on to step 16. I think we might do 16 and 17 together. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to put the swash plate on the main shaft and the head as well. Here we go. All right. We've got servos in, we've got the links on, we've got the pitch links on the pitch arms, main blade grip pitch arms, I'm sorry. And let's see, what else is there to do? I think that's it for steps 16 and 17. I'm getting excited. All right, so here is step 18. 16, 17, and 18 should kind of just be grouped together, but it's basically just putting on the tilt phase mount or radius guide or swash plate guide, whatever you want to call it. It keeps the swash plate from moving around because if we don't have that on, it's gonna fly like crap. All right, there we go. We've got 16, 17, and 18. I'm excited. Step 19 is basically slide this on the boom. That's it, and I just slid it on, so 19 is done. right, we are on step 20. We are getting down to completing this thing. It's been an awesome build. Everything's straightforward. There was no craziness in the manual, and I understood everything. The way the servos are mounted into the bracket here is very different. I've never seen servos. I don't know what you call this, but it's like encases all the servos. I've never seen servos kind of mounted that way, and it's kind of cool, thinking outside the box. All right. All right, we are done with step 20. We have the tail housing unit, the pitch lever here, and we also have the pitch yoke as well. Don't tighten these down too much. You want them to be free. You want them to move freely. Yeah, we got those done, and we're on to step 21. So we on step 21. We're gonna get the tail blades on, the tail shaft, and all that good stuff, and get everything mounted. All right, here we go. We are done with step 21. We are in step 22. We're wrapping this tail section up. We got the tail fin, and we're gonna put the whole tail together and get it mounted on the boom. Here we go. All right, we are done with step 22. We've got the tail on, tail hub, everything moves smoothly. Look at that, no resistance at all. I'm gonna set the belt tension a little bit later, but this is pretty much perfect. All right, on to the next step. Yeah, you better. All right, we are on to step 23. We are going to lock the boom down. Here goes. We have 23 done. You want to check your belt tension, push in here. It shouldn't be too loose and it shouldn't be too tight. You want to find a middle ground here, but it's really up to your preference of how tight or loose, depending upon what type of flying style you're doing. But this one seems to be really nice, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it there for right now. All right. All right, we are on to step 24. We're gonna build the push rod now, and here we go. All right, we are done with step 24. We've got the push rod installed on the servo here. We've got it going through the guide, and then we've got it connected to the bell crank here in the back. And looks like the length is almost perfect. I might have to do a little tweaking later. Cool, on to the next step. Yeah, you better. What's up? What's up? We are back. We are on to step 25. This is cool. One thing that they did that I've never seen before is the ESC is actually its own plate or its own brace, if you will. It goes in this way and it lines up with the holes here. You basically mount it to the frames, screws here, 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 and you're done. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this right now. All right, we are done with step 25. If you get the kit version, not the plug and play, you won't get this ESC. So it comes with a plate where you can mount in your own ESC. But there it is. It's bolted into the frames and we are good. All right, we are on to step 26. We're basically pretty much done with the assembly. Setup is a whole nother thing, and we'll get to that later. But here is your fly bar unit. You're gonna place it this way right here. Well, here we go. There we are, done with step 26. All right, we are on to step 27, and we're going to mount the battery to the battery tray and get that secured. Here we go. All right, well, we are done with step 27. We have the battery mounted to the tray. We've got our grommets and our canopy, and we're good. Let's go on to the next step. We're pretty much at the end of this build. This build was awesome. It wasn't hard at all. It was very quick, and I'm impressed so far. So I want to get it in the air, so I'm going to do some setup, but first I got to finish these last two steps. I'm going to combine step 28 and 29. It's pretty simple stuff. Just put the blades on and pop the battery in. So I'm going to do that now. Well, alrighty, we've got a helicopter, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. We are done. Steps 28, 29, I think 30 as well. You set up pitches. It looks awesome. The lines look amazing. I am ready to set this thing up and take it for a test flight. So hopefully I'll see you at the field. So we're out at the field and I am going to Maiden this thing here. Hopefully all the servos are going the right way. No, I think we'll be good. But this is kind of cool. Let it initialize. Perfect. All right, here we go.
Very quiet.
Very quiet, very stable off the bat. No adjustments have been made. This is basically hands off, the slight wind pushing it around a little bit. Very stable. All right. I gotta dial this thing in, of course, to my liking. I like it a little bit crispier around center stick, a little bit more responsive. So I'm gonna go up in idle up 1. I'm gonna set it down. All right, a little more head speed. Okay. Still stable. Woo. I think I need to turn that tail down a bit. All right. The cool thing about that is the tail gain is too high in that mode. The cool thing is with adjusting this helicopter, all you gotta do is pull out the app and get to tuning. So as you saw, the tail gyro tail gain was a little too high. So what you wanna do is you wanna hit scan and you're gonna see the, you gotta look at your list here. Here's Goosky. All right, it's connected. Then I go back to home. Then I want to hit start. Now from here, you have all your settings that are particularly on this bird that you have linked with the app here. So what I want to do is go to the rudder here at the bottom, gyro, rudder. I'm going to bring that down a little bit. It's at 67, and bring it down to 57. Then we're going to save it. And this is real time. And then we come out, and then that's it. It's on the flybar unit. So we're gonna take it out and test that out. Let's see how it works. Better. I think I took a little bit too much out. Flips over, very stable. And this is a very moderate head speed. It's idle up 1. I got a little bit more in idle up 2, but this was set up per the instructions in the manual. So it's a little bit conservative. I would probably turn it up a little bit, and I would probably turn the head gain down on the head gyro, So, but just as an initial take on it, it's very smooth. Of course, you know, you can turn it up and get it going a little bit for your liking, but this is very stable, just like the S2. It just feels like a bigger S2. It's not intimidating. It's let's get a couple flips and rolls in. All right. Yeah. Very smooth. Yep. 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 stable. Looks like it's sitting on a table. Now, as I fly this, I'm gonna turn the head speed up and kind of go in and doctor up the head gyro. I'm gonna tighten it up just a little bit off center. But for right now, it flies really good out of the box. Yeah, out of the box. Oh, that's good. Yeah, and also too, I think I got a little bit too much pitch up top. But the cool thing about the app is you can go in and you can set that up perfectly for your liking. But out of the box, per the manual, it flies amazing. I'm just surprised at how stable it is. That's hands off. Of course, the heli's gonna move a little bit, but and to really be honest, the prefix links that go from the actual servos to the Swashplate lends to a easier setup. There's no guesswork. All right. Well, I'm gonna take this back, recharge the battery, and get a better flight in on it, per my liking. Oh, it's got some hang time too. Nice.
Nice flight.
Thanks, brother. Helidirect!